And okay, we'll discover what is that is about. Okay, I'm mostly talking about application frameworks. Of course, thank you to all the sponsors of the conference. If not, this should not be possible. Okay, but okay, so go directly to the subject. So imagine that you have a company, like a software company, for example, okay, that builds things for your customers. Just imagine, right? And that in every single project, you have to do something that is repeatable. Okay? Things like what? Like, for example, user management, roles and permissions, for example, you have to do that in all the applications, in all the deployments. You have to do internationalization and localization, of course. You have to monitor and log in, okay, on that. So you have to do a lot of stuff that is repeating between project, every single project, okay? Notification alerts, configuration management, content and UX management, okay? Security and privacy, and performance optimization. So you have to do all of this in every single project that you do. And we are not talking here about what the customer wants, okay? What the customer decides to do. I mean, this is like what is around, okay, of your customer needs. And I mean, this is not the value that the customer is asking you for, okay? All of us that works with an application framework, okay, such as DNN, okay, this sounds familiar, okay? But let's just to put all the concepts on the table, okay? So, I mean, when talking about this type of application frameworks, goes through a mantra that is this dry, okay? That is, don't repeat yourself. So, try to avoid implementing, the wheel and every single time. For example, if you don't use an application framework, you should be doing all of those things, time after time. So probably after a while, you will have some type of assemblies or tools just to avoid repeating. But the idea is to have, to use an application framework. Okay. So the dry philosophy is in software development. Okay. Reminds that don't repeat yourself, okay? Promoting and reusing efficiency and fostering creativity to design more maintainable and scalable solutions. Okay, this was said by David Rodriguez today. So in fact, it was ChatGPT, okay, but you get the idea, okay? So, for example, in the world of web development, okay, that is the world that we are, okay, that most of us are, okay. So we have this type of application frameworks, and we know, typical, sospechosos habituales is habitual suspects. That, for example, we have DNN, we have Umbraco, we have, WordPress, but we also have like frameworks, low-level frameworks like PHP, ASP.NET. Okay, so all of them have this type of tools, okay, to avoid, repeating and to avoid repeating yourself on every single project, okay? So give you a structure and tools, okay, to facilitate the streamline and development of API and web applications. That applies to DNN as well. Okay, a set of reusable components. That's true, okay? So DNN, for example, gives that. And they are provide a common and popular design patterns, like, for example, hey, I have to build an MVC module, or I have to do a SPA module, or whatever. Oh, it looks like even DNN is giving that, okay? At the end is telling us a set of best practices, okay? And also give us security, okay? So we don't have to worry about, we don't have to worry. Between all of us, worry about building between the community, okay? All of and maintain that secure, okay? Okay, that's fine. But what is the UI is not just web? What is if the UI is conversational? Is there any conversational application framework to help to us? And of course, I'm not going to talk in this talk too much about DNN. So I'm going to, to show you some of the, examples or application frameworks that are available, and mostly in the Microsoft stack, and not all, only the Microsoft stack. Okay, so we'll see some of them. So yeah, conversational application frameworks. We have some other, interesting ones. We have from Google Dialogflow is one of them. That's and by using una UI, you can design your conversations. IBM Watson X, Amazon Lex, LangChain, and then we have like a set also of other tools that are provided by Microsoft. Okay, starting from bot framework and bot services, semantic kernel. So that is like the low-level thing, and then we have some other, familiar names like Copilot or Copilot Studio. It's something that we'll see now in a second, and then also other open source alternative, okay, that are not even in the Microsoft stack, like LibreChat or anything LLM. That, I mean, at the end are like, to me, are like DNN, okay, for conversations. So gives you the set, okay, of the surrounding, for example, with tools like, for example, okay, don't have to worry about the processing of natural language, okay, because the tool gives process that. For example, I don't have to worry about if I have to connect to how to connect to Slack or to WhatsApp or or the web, because these tools normally, okay, give solutions to the to be multi-channel, okay, or of course give the flexibility and scalability for just perhaps 100 or 2,000 or 200,000 users, and of course shows real-time analytics. And there's content safety, and okay, all of that. So, okay, so this is interesting. So let's start by checking one of them. But before going, also when doing the drive philosophy, there are two types, okay, of application frameworks. And this is for web application frameworks and for conversational application frameworks, okay. That is this is another word that I cannot even pronounce. Unopinionated. It's okay. So it's give that an structured organization of the project, okay, but without saying you how to build that. For example, in the web side, okay, in the web application framework side, for example, we can have like .NET, okay, .NET framework. So give you the set of tools, but okay, it's cook yourself, okay, everything. And in the world of conversational application frameworks, we have also those level, okay, and normally frameworks, SDKs, okay, that are low level, like Microsoft framework, semantic kernel, all of that are like libraries and nugget packages, and say, okay, use as you want, okay, doesn't follow any full pattern. And then the other ones that are opinionated, that follows the drive philosophy, okay. That mostly are based on, with the base of the others, okay, but give to you like a predefined structure, follow conventions and best practices. For example, if you have to log in, give you, the login box, just to click even in the conversation, okay. So all of those patterns are already implemented, right? So in that case, we have, for example, Copilot Studio and LibreChat and all of those. Okay, so let's start by checking, going from in the Microsoft side at least, going from unopinionated to something more, that give that follow the drive pattern. Let's start with the historical Microsoft bot framework. Any of you have used this? No? No one? Nice. Okay, so this started, I think, at around 2017, more or less, okay? And it's a set of packages, okay, that in fact they started in full framework, okay, so not even in .NET Core. But currently these days works in both, okay, both framework, but also in Core, okay. And so it's an SDK that you can reference in your project, okay, in Visual Studio. And, connects you to a service that is in Microsoft Azure, that is bot service. So it's like, and at the end, what you build is a bot. In this case, it's like just an API. It has one endpoint, that is /API-messages. And then, for example, the web chat or all the channels connect to that API via the Azure bot service, right? So, well, it's interesting because, yeah, with other Azure cognitive services, for example, okay, well, Lewis and QueryMaker and some other, let's say, I was going to say legacy, but it's not legacy, is that are non-generative cognitive services, okay, that because at the end, after the OpenAI and all the LLMs appear, so we have almost forgotten that there are other type of AI. So, but you can connect with other cognitive services just to, for example, to guess the intention of the user with a phrase or something like that, okay? So it connects to, I mean, offer integration without those services. And also, well, it says flexible, scalable. Okay, the good and bad. Well, the good is still, this is active. So Microsoft is not, the bad is that Microsoft is not promoting because Microsoft, what they want to sell is Copilot and that you use Copilot Studio. And the reason is because all the competitors like Google, IBM, on all of the others are offering, okay, like design tools, you know, more graphical tools that are, I mean, the curve of introducing, you know, and creating agents is, you know, is in seconds, in minutes. So this stuff is you need to open Visual Studio, understand those that is decay and blah blah. Okay, but it's still active, and in fact, I will say that Copilot Studio is on top of this. So it's built with this thing, right? So, yeah, and offers things like, for example, app-static cards, well, let me show you an example. Okay, so I'm going to, for example, we have built, this is a Tenerife website, okay, the official website of Tenerife of Tourism. And this is an assistant that, in fact, won in Fitur, that was the best virtual assistant in Spain in 2022. So that was a really good thing, okay? And and this is, for example, what is behind, okay, is an agent that was built with that framework, okay, with this framework, and that way, in the classic way, okay, not with a Copilot Studio, everything. Oh, let me change this to the page to English. 1 second. Better, right? Okay, so for example, you can go. Okay, what to do? Okay, continuing. Okay, so let me change to English. Okay. Okay. No, anyway, so for example, I mean, you can, for example, ask for what to do, and these are, for example, the what they say the adaptive cards is like this type of things. Okay, is supported by that framework. Okay, so and this is a mix of guided UI that you can use, but then also with also chatting. Okay, so and this is a combination of different type of cognitive services. And then there is also, because with the interaction of OpenAI, and that evolved. So so it's fine, but the old way is not able to solve like quite complex, let's say, user intentions. For example, if I put, today is my mom's birthday, oof, with a B, birthday. And we want to go to the south to eat something good, and then do a walk in the north of the island to see the, I don't know, sunset. Okay, can you suggest something? Of course, here there are like several user intentions. Okay, so this is not. I mean, this was not. Oh, sorry. This was not easy to solve. Okay, with a general, again, with other, you know, Lewis and those cognitive services. Okay, so but now, for example, you can even plug. Okay, with that SDK using semantic kernel, you can quickly connect to OpenAI. And let me try to put this more zoom. Okay, And of course, I mean, you are not limited just to to what is I mean, the Lewis and other stuff. You can, at the end, it's Visual Studio, it's your backend, it's your API. So then, I mean, you detect that this is a more complex scenario. So then you call the OpenAI, OpenAI or whatever other LLM and do the thing. Okay. And well, what is good is that the SD, I mean, this bot framework, I mean, the web chat is, I mean, it's an open source. Okay, that is in. I think that I put the link in the slides. It's open source and it's available on GitHub, so you can use this UI. I mean, this web chat. Okay, and plug it there. So how this looks like? I mean, in the backend. Okay. As I told you, this is just a Visual Studio, okay, project. Come on, don't break. And no, not restart. Okay, anyway, come on, Wonder One. Okay, so we have like here, yeah, like these are the Microsoft bot framework. Okay, so these are like a set of nugget packages. That also connecting to cognitive services, to those ones like Lewis and Q&A or whatever. And then, well, of course, we have been in this business like a long time. Okay, so we have also our own, nugget packages. But just to give you an idea, for example, just this flow. Okay, you see this like thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, so for example, if I put a thumbs up, for example, how that is managed in the backend. So it's like having each type of iteration, like go round trip, okay, with a server to the API is based in dialogues. Okay, in this case, for example, we have a base that is component dialog. This is the rate dialog. It's managing the thumbs up and thumbs down. Okay, and here I mean just well, if the activity text equals thumbs up. It's easy, okay. So then you, I mean, we store that in, in a storage, and we do some analytics, and then we send back, okay. And this is the type of thing that is, hey, send an activity to the user that is okay, nice, or whatever, okay. So it's like with code, you are just interacting with your responses, okay, in this way, and you can then build like a lot of, several like all those. Dialogues, you have to code them. And this is what I say, okay, so this is low level, okay? It's low level and, well, it's low level, but I was going to say that I was not going to show anything in DNN, but yes. We have, for example, a set of models just to, I mean, to train or, to do this not so, I would say, I mean, to do it more repeatable, okay? So, and we have like one for, and in this case for tourism of Tenerife, that is this one. So that where you can manage the knowledge base of the of the assistant. Yeah, okay. And with different models, like for example Q&A, and well, stats and a lot of things. Okay. So okay, yeah, I think that with that you get the idea. Let me go back again to the slides. Okay, so that was okay, the demo. Okay, next. And here I have also, with that low level, well, the other one was Goyo, that is from Tenerife, okay? And this is Clio. This is the nephew of Goyo, nephew or niece? The niece, okay? This is a project that we built for Cosmote, okay? This is in the Rock in Athens. And this is an application, web application, no, not web application, sorry, a Unity application that is, is available in Android and iOS, and made in Unity, okay? In that case, so we needed to go again, like super low level, okay? Just to put this into Unity and, and have that interaction with the backend. I mean, but this is done that way. There is no audio, I don't know why. But anyway. So, but I mean, this you can visit then the Rock in the Acropolis, and and talk with Clio, okay? And it's like guiding you, okay, through the site and to see which places to see. Well, I mean, talking about the history of the thing. For example, This was how the things looks like in. Oh, now it works. And
what we know about Strangilium, a sculptor of the Trojan horse statue, is that he was an artist who flourished in the second half of the 5th century BC.
Okay,
Indeed, according to the Testament.
I'm not going to do the full thing. But okay, shut up. Shut up, Cleo. Okay, so it's likely. I mean, this is that type of project. Okay, in fact, this was before all generative AI thing. So this was built on, also during the pandemic. I think that was in 2021, between 2020 and 2021. And yeah, and currently these days, I mean, we have even supporting peaks of 25,000 users. Okay, at the same moment. Okay, so it's something that also Azure gives you. Okay, the ability to scale up, or down, and just to the demand. Okay, on that. Okay, so and this is a different type of virtual assistant. It's not just I mean what we usually see with using and doing flows or chatting. Okay, so we can think also in other type of UIs. Okay. Okay, so that is what allows you to do things like bot framework, SDK. And if you need to go super low level, you have to know that there are these framework types. And yeah, so then Microsoft started, okay, what they said before. IBM is doing this, super fancy thing with designing the boxes and just connecting them with arrows. Then also Dialogflow with Google. All of the other actors were doing, like fancy stuff, quickly introducing agents in the world, and Microsoft was behind. So they started to create one thing, a tool that what they call it bot framework composer. that was based on this bot framework, was just creating like boxes and connecting them and creating dialog flows, okay, flow of dialogues, but not by coding, but not by using Visual Studio, like I showed before, that type of dialogue. So the boxes, what I was doing at the end is just implementing those ones in the backend. They started there, and then low code arrived, okay, and they, of course, they created this thing, Power Platform. Who knows Power Platform? At least to hear about that. Yeah, it's Power Platform, Power Apps, Power BI. I think that was Power BI, and then that gave the name to everything. So then, as part of that platform, okay, the Power Platform, they put Power Virtual Agents, or PVA. But what's the evolution of this stuff? In fact, not evolution. These Power Virtual Agents are based on bot framework. So, okay, so then what happened later? So they do a rebranding of the logo, okay? And then Copilot arrives. So what they did was a new rebranding, but it's the same thing, okay? So it's not, the bot framework composer, but Power Virtual Agents, in fact, in some places in the Copilot Studio, we'll see still that is Power Virtual Agents, okay? So, but it's just a rebranding because of all the waves that Microsoft is doing with the Copilot thing, okay? Nice, so what is currently, okay, without, just to avoid going to Visual Studio and make, in just seconds, create a virtual assistant, okay? So, Copilot Studio is, you go to copilotstudio.microsoft.com. You can go there for free, so to build your agents, so no cost to build agents, so what is really good. And yeah, well, I will explain the thing, but now that I'm talking about money, now Microsoft offers then this in different ways, okay? So for example, if you or your user has Copilot, then all the messaging is for free as well, of course, but Copilot costs a lot. So if you want to put this, for example, to public websites, where, of course, your users, the world doesn't have Copilot, but you want to offer this like the Tariff, virtual assistant, you can do it by two ways, buying packages of messages, blocks of 20,000 messages, or pay as you go, that is, that you pay per message. And it's 1 cent per message. So, okay, can be. I see that depending on the area, okay, can be more or less expensive. At the end, you have to measure, okay, how many users or how many interactions are you going to have. So, so at the end, it's not for free. So at the end, you're paying for the software, and of course, because the tool also deserves it. So you can create a virtual assistant very quickly, including things like, for example, RAG patterns. Okay, so searching in your documents, searching in your in your intranet, searching in your SharePoint. I mean, is everything connected? You can even connect to a SQL database and do queries. I mean, all of that visual. RAG pattern is retrieval augmented generation. It's a pattern that, so instead of taking like a model and training, doing fine tuning to know about your, your company, what do you do is, okay, let's take my documentation. Imagine like a Word document, okay? I get the Word and then split that in chunks of 1,000 words, okay? So for each chunk, what I pass, I do a process that is like, for example, okay, what's the meaning of this paragraph? The meaning, not what the keywords, no, the meaning, okay? So what that means, and there is an algorithm, different algorithms, but for example, the name is embeddings, okay? That gives you a vector of like 1,000, 2,000 dimensions. That's the meaning of that paragraph. So then it's like, okay, you vectorize, and that is vectorizing, okay? So using vectors, and you put that in a vector database. So the pattern is that when the user then asks, okay, the question of the user is converted to a vector, and then by using that pattern, what is go to database, go and retrieve the top 3 or 4 results, and show that to, and then compose that to the user. It's like okay, you let's say index your documentation first, and then do a query database, and then with the result of that query, put that in natural language. So, but you are not training a model, okay? So because training models is too expensive, to be honest, okay? Okay, so that RAG patterns. So the integration with 365, okay, is multi-channel. Of course, why? Because well, I didn't show before, but the Azure Bot Service allows you to deploy, to deliver, okay, all your API, like I would say Teams, Slack, WhatsApp, Alexa, okay. So there are a lot of all those channels. So and this comes on, it's built on top of Bot Framework, so inherits also those channels. Yeah, it's with voice as well, the same that Bot Framework. And well, the good thing is is the Microsoft focus right now. If you do, there's a lot of support on this. Top favorite things like debugging topics. The UI and that thing. Okay, so let's see in a second. And this is by the way, for example, as you can see, the web chat window that you can, for example, deploy on your website for this is just the same that we're using Bot Framework. So it's just like a demonstration, okay? That uses the same backend. So for this, okay, I'm going to Copilot Studio, Copilot Studio, studio.microsoft.com. Oh, Studio. Okay. Of course, you need to log in with your Microsoft account. Okay. Welcome, David. Please wait. Please wait. And come on. Demo time. Okay. So, and this, this has evolved a lot since it started with a Power Virtual Agent or the thing before. In fact, today you can even start creating one agent by choosing from some templates that you have here, or, for example, just by describing what you want to do. What you want to do. For example, I want. Let me try to see it better. Okay. I want to build an IT service agent holder, and that answer holder user request and create tickets. The tickets types are from dev, IT, and security, for example. Let's start with that, okay? So it's using even an agent to create agents, okay? It's like a meta agent, okay, to build them, okay? So now it also opens a second UI just to complete the, your design, just for testing. So as you can see, in just a few seconds, you don't even have to design the flows, okay? So there's a Copilot here, so it's going to build that. Come on. Okay, it's great. Now let's to set a name for the IT service agent. How about IT service agent? Okay, sounds good. Is okay? And here on the right, you can see that in just 3 seconds, I have my agent ready for using. Okay. So and in the left side, it's still asking me for refining or something. Okay. So let's start. Even it's putting me like the top 3 of top suggestions for the user. For example, hey, can you create a ticket for a dev issue? And you click here and send. So as you can see, in just a few seconds, you have your your agent built. Okay. Can you please more details about the development issue you're experiencing? Try help this interacting with. Okay, I have a problem with DNN. Okay, so okay. Deep neural network. Yeah, you need then to specify more. Okay, so okay, yeah, this is the type. Then you have to do some fine tuning. Okay, so so when you open the agent. I'm going to open one that I have already created here. Agents, I have some. Which user I'm using? Shit, I'm using the watch. I didn't want to use this one. Okay. I want to use the. Yeah. Who has that issue? Who's suffering that? Everyone? The fact is that now you can merge them. There is a tool for merging them, but I'm scared to do that.
I tried.
You tried?
Yeah, I tried, but it never worked. I still get the persona your employer created for you, which was once a client who once said,
okay,
something for me, or your personal one. I can't get rid of it.
Okay. Okay, nice. So imagine, so I have here one that is an agent that was built that way. Well, forget it that he's talking in Spanish. But you can also, for example, now add more things. You want to connect what I told you before. Okay, you can want to add knowledge, and you can quickly connect to a public website. So you can connect it to, for example, to in this case Intellica.com website. So and now the agent knows everything of your company with just one click, and can ask about your services and all that stuff. But you can also click with one click and connect to a SharePoint library, and now knows and can talk about your the content of your document by using the RAG pattern. If you want to do that vectorizing by yourself, you can use an Azure search or connect Dataverse. Dataverse is the database that is behind Dynamics 365. So everything, for example, if you have using the CRM or the business, the NAVs. Business Central, Navision, Business Central, okay? So all of that is based on that, so you can do it. And also, for example, if you can connect to an Azure SQL database and do the queries. So with that, or even just that drag and drop, okay? Just drag and drop a file or a folder in OneDrive, and that then is like adding knowledge to your assistant, okay? So in this case, for example, as you can see, I have added here the Intellica.com website or the offers SharePoint site for the company. So now it knows about the offers that my company is giving. So this is a Copilot internal for for the sales guys, or even talk to about the project, the evolution of the cases. Okay, that I can ask this agent to know about what is the status of a case. Okay, that customer created. And then what we don't see after creating that is like that agent, what was creating is like these flows, okay? These boxes, I mean, each dialogue, okay, is composed by some steps. And what was hiding the other thing, the Copilot that was creating me this agent, is just to build all of this was created automatically, okay? So, and you can of course you can customize. So you can go here and click and then okay, add an action and boom, call whatever. You know, it's, as you can see, it's low code. Okay, so there is almost no need to pro code. But even if you need that, you can go and create an actual function or call a DNN API or whatever as well. Okay. So and something that I like is, for example, create a ticket. Is that, as you can see here, is session started and start even debugging visually. Okay. I mean the steps in your flow. So okay, it's asking me for, okay, let me choose, for example, it's a dev ticket. Okay. And now continue session in progress, and boom, 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 boom. You are going to see and analyzing the whatever, and session complete. Okay. So just okay, thank you for the information, and goes there. More interesting things. Okay, activity. You can see analytics. Like this, all this is being sent to application insights. Okay, the information. So there are reports for that. And but what is also interesting, okay, there's some things here that this is the now that I have this ready, okay, I can quickly, okay, go and deploy this agent in whatever channel, in my website, in a demo website that is ready, in Teams, in Copilot, or Slack. Well, Skype is going to disappear from there. But yeah, I have, for example, Twilio using WhatsApp, but WhatsApp is going to be directly here with communication services. But yeah, Telegram or, quickly you can connect this to several things, okay? I'm not going to enter too much more inside, but this is like a sneak preview, okay, of what you can do and go start playing quickly today. Nice. Let me continue here. How much time I have? 10 minutes? 10 minutes, okay.
Just to be sure, this is based on bot framework,
yeah,
which is not based on generative AI.
Good question. So, in the same way that I added, in the bot framework, I added a semantic kernel manually, okay, and to connect to Gen AI, okay, because bot framework doesn't know anything about Gen AI, but of course you can plug whatever other framework, and the other framework that from Microsoft that knows about Gen AI is semantic kernel. So in your project, in Visual Studio, you can plug both.
But this is the last things you show.
Yeah, here there is here in where's topics with system. This one, for example, here there is a conversational boosting. This one, this is a node type, okay, that knows, okay. It's like connecting. This type of node is using like semantic kernel, okay. So with that you can then, for example, use which knowledge. If you want to use it's at the end this is using generative AI. Even you can call Azure OpenAI or other, endpoints. Okay. Okay. So let's then continue. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so that was a demo here. So let's continue. Okay. What if I don't want to use Microsoft Copilot, but I still need to build agents for my applications? Okay. What that means? Well, let me go quickly here because just in 10 minutes I have to explain two things. Microsoft AI Foundry. This is the other thing that Microsoft is pushing, a lot. That is like the foundry for building AI, where you have to everything, all the portals that were like a speech portal, the document intelligence portal. There were a lot of them spared between different portals. what they have putting this together is all what is related to AI is now in this portal. And the URL is easy, ai.azure.com. So if you need to do something with AI, just go there, right? So what you can do here in AI, and let me go here and put, no, you are not seeing it, escape works. ai.azure.com, this is the Azure AI Foundry. Well, the first thing is that, as you can see, I mean, there are like what is most common. That is, okay, at the beginning you see all the generative AI because it's, the most thing being used today. And here is interesting because you can deploy, and I will talk about this a lot, okay, in the second session, okay, about how to implement this and focus, how to use this in a secure way. But you can deploy Azure OpenAI in your subscription in your virtual network. Azure OpenAI, so it's the only company, Microsoft is the only company that is able to do that because of the agreement that it has with OpenAI company, okay? But also, you can deploy there like Mistral or, Phi or this new one from this week. You know that in Bill this week, Elon Musk appeared in the keynote with Satya. It was shocking. Okay, so and it was because of that. So now you can even deploy Grok in your subscription, in your Azure subscription. Okay, and well, there's a lot of like models here. But not only LLMs, but also other services like speech, as I mentioned, okay, before. Luis, understanding, vision, all of the other things, all of the things are here now. And then this gives you, a way to build also agents, okay? So you can, for example, deploy. Okay, I'm going to deploy GPT-4, okay? I'm going to build an agent. Okay, nice. Let me try this agent in the, well, I connect the things like, for example, connect the, come on, adding knowledge in the same way that I was using with Copilot. I can use and add and do grounding with files, with Azure Search, other things like Fabric, interesting, with data. And then, okay, try in the playground. And the playground here, I can start talking with my agent. Hello. After setting up that thing. Okay. Hello. How can I answer you today? As you can see here, the agent is using in the backend is in this case is using GPT-4 or Mini, but you could use Mistral or DeepSeek or Grok. Doesn't matter. And then, nice. How I'm going to plug this into my application? Here there are like examples in different languages. Let's use C#, for example. And it's giving you like the code for embedding that in your application. And this is interesting because you can even do like quickly, okay, create a console application that is using an agent, okay, and connect that with that. And if you want to do it like with, come on, in JavaScript, you also have here the code example, and yeah, and there's a lot of examples out there. I will talk more about this in the second session. Okay, so nice, but I don't want to, to create a UI for that. I would like to just to use this, but with no need of maintaining now the the UI, the bot framework. The web chat or whatever. So, is there any open source framework that allows me to connect that backend AI Foundry with all those agents and models with something in the UI? Yeah, there are some open source frameworks as well. And one of them that I'm going to talk here today, and then we'll talk more later, is LibreChat. LibreChat is an enhanced ChatGPT clone. Okay, and I have to, to highlight that, enhanced, because it has more features than the ChatGPT UI. Okay, and it's a clone. And it was the #1 repo of the last year. And it has a lot of traction, this project. And it's not in Microsoft Stack. It's Node.js and, it's a MERN, okay? I don't even know what it means, the MERN. Yeah, exactly, okay. So, but it gives you, okay, so all of the, as I told before, was following the drive philosophy, okay, allows you to create actions to plug MCP servers, okay, and directly into the UI. And other thing is that interesting is that it's deployed via Docker, okay, so you can deploy then this UI in whatever, in your on-premise, in on-premise, in the cloud, in Amazon, or in your, in your servers, okay? So, and host it by yourself. So, yeah, the code is in GitHub, and let's see in a second. Well, I think that with the time that perhaps I'm going to do this, give it up to the play. If you go to LibreChat.ai, okay, so this is the website of the project. I hit play or not? Okay. It's 1x. I don't know. Looks like it's not. Okay, no, it's working. No? Is it stopped? Okay. Okay, let me show it then. Let me do it quickly. Okay, I have 4 minutes. I think that I can do it. So this is the websites. As you can see, is the #1 of repository of the day in all languages. Okay, so last year, so it was an interesting one. And so, well, I have you can manage. I mean, it supports code interpreter. That is the ability that when you plug a model is also able to run and test in a sandbox. Okay, the code that is doing. So just to test that the code is working. Imagine that you want, hey, create me a Word document that talks about, a story. And just to create the document, it needs to execute code, okay, and reference some Python libraries. And so it's able to do that and implement that with code interpreter, okay? So it's multimodal, of course, because you can upload images or whatever, and if the model supports that, important. This is just the UI, not the backend, not the model. The model is hosted everywhere else. You can plug here like DeepSeek or whatever, but this is in other places. So this is just the UI, okay? And so, in fact, you can go quickly here in demo, and I think that I can have some, come on, let me enter with my Google account here. And this is the number of models that are currently supported from Google, Anthropic that you are using, right? DeepSeek, Azure, Perplexity, NVIDIA, as you can see, supporting all of them. And well, this supports a lot of features that I will going to talk more later in the second session, okay? But if you want to deploy this, you just need to go to the to here. Come on, go to the docs, quick local setup. You just need to go and clone the repo, okay? That is in this URL, git clone, and of course install Docker if you want locally. So the third is to edit. So well, I think that they have this locally. So the LibreChat. So this is the content of the repo. Is this thing that I have this also open here in Visual Studio Code. Come on. And before that, you just need to edit, okay, this environment file where you put all the settings, okay, for which model I'm going to use, which will be my URL. It's going to this to be using which type of authentication. There are like more than 300, okay, environment variables. So it's a bit crazy, okay. But this is just to to stop all the credentials to all the backend, to all the APIs, okay. So when you finish that, you just use the typical thing that is Docker compose app -d, Docker compose app minus. Okay, no, I don't have a Docker running now. Where's Docker here? Yeah, I have a Docker desktop. Sorry, that was part of the restart. So I think that is running now. Not yet. Come on. Let me see. Now, okay. Now it's running. So now, what was the URL? I think that was
3,000, I think, almost 3,000.
was at the top, right? This one.
Oh, 380.
Finish.
38.
Okay. Okay. So then I run this and put. Okay. And as you can see now, it's running. Okay, I have running like ChatGPT. Okay, with and I have I can put all the backend. I mean, all the those chat, those models. Okay, with this UI. Okay, so it's a way to deliver this to the and I mean has a lot of. Well, this was I doing the Catalan one. No. Let me show you this working. Okay. And the latest version. So effectively, so we have here the Catalan, okay, Català, okay, is there. That's for you. That was one of our contributions to translate to Catalan. Yeah, but yeah, I will show this a bit more because it's I mean has a lot of more I mean interesting things. Okay, like building the agents. Building multi-agents, chaining agents, you know, whatever one is doing, connecting like MCP servers, and this is something that Sasha is going to talk about as well. Okay, create an agent. I have some of them here, like developer classifier. This one, interesting. So you can add tools for, you know, these are like MCP servers. Okay, I will talk more about that later. Yeah. But yeah. But that is like a framework to open source framework just to plug, you know, models. Well, with that, if you want to know more about other conversational frameworks, you have there from IBM, Google, AWS, more things about the semantic kernel and other open source ones. And with that, I'm done. Any question? Any question? No? Yes? Oh, well, you can ask me later.